What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams. As always, I'm joined by Shannon Times.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, if you have not done so already, please go back and listen to Monday and Tuesday's topics. So, we're talking about U.S. critical infrastructure. We're talking about nuclear. They did they work in the power plant or they worked adjacent to the power plant?
So for the nuclear one,
Yeah.
it was the Idaho National Laboratories is what
There
it
it is.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that data breach and how their information's out there. And then on Thursday, we'll probably do another one to deal with either Colonial Pipeline or Oldsmar being hacked or something like that, right? Um, for our throwback episodes. So every Thursday we do a throwback episode or Ask a CSP. I don't have any Ask a CSPs booked for the rest of the year because of the holidays. So look for that back in 2024. And then Friday, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So we talk about things that are non-cyber related, except for one movie that was. So there you go. It all comes together, right? It's all connected. Uh, Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this discussion we're going to go through is from Afrotech.com, written by Samantha Deriska, and it's mother-daughter duo to launch a children's book on cybersecurity, accompanied by a mobile game. Right. So this right here, love to see this. Right. So this mother-daughter duo, Claudia and London Walker, they're working together and they're doing this book that's the ABCs of Cybersecurity. Right. So what this is it's one of those things that's going to expose children to practicing like safe cybersecurity or practicing good cybersecurity habits, right? And this is kind of cool, right? And this was something that recently came up for me. So I don't know if I brought it up on the show before or not, but my youngest daughter is in Girl Scouts, and about a month ago I went to their troop and gave them a discussion on practicing good cybersecurity hygiene and what not to do,
Oh, that's cool.
online. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they get their cybersecurity badge. You know what I mean? And in the Girl Scouts, right? This is 5, 6 year olds. You know what I mean? So
Right.
young kids, right? But it's me saying, hey. Don't get on your parents' phone and do DoorDash and don't open these things up and don't do this, different things like that. It was like at first I was like, I don't know how to gear this towards kids, right? Like I talk to adults all day about don't do this, don't do that, but it ended up pretty good. I'm kind of glad I did it because I was trying to set it up to have somebody else do it, for the troops,
Mhm.
for my daughter's troop, but I was like, nah, I'll just go ahead and do it. But it was a cool experience, and to see this happening now, right? So where you had this mother-daughter duo that actually went to the White House in February, was it? I believe is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, they went to the White House in February of this year, earlier this year, because they had other things that they did, right? So they have other books. It was the ABCs of HBCUs, the ABCs of
Right.
Wall Street, which is in Target, right? So Target sells these books, but they've already, been in the game, you know what I mean, when it comes to the ABCs of something and to do the ABCs of cybersecurity. This is pretty cool, right? And we've actually had Aisha on, and she's talked about this before as
Hmm.
well. Like when it comes to gearing it towards younger children, and things of that nature, right? Because people just think, oh, it just needs to be adults you do this with. No, like young children are on these devices as well, right? But this is pretty cool. I like this, right? So them getting this out there, the different partnerships they have. So the vision behind the book, they talk about it in here. It was Oakland. They're from Oakland, California, but they were helping with organizations Blacks in Cybersecurity, Share the Mic in Cyber, different things like that, different organizations like that. But this is pretty cool, and this is very much something that's needed in this day and age, right? Because I'm seeing it to where children are younger and younger when they have these cell phones, man. And like the cell phones just make it so much easier for these children to be exposed to things that they need to be aware of, right? Because them getting a cell phone doesn't necessarily mean they're getting the lessons in cybersecurity. And that's what this book is going to do for them, right? And here's the thing, right? So like what are we doing here, right? We highlight people of color, right? And this group, this mother-daughter duo, people of color, right? Black females that are out here making this happen, right? So this is a good thing. And I'm glad they're doing it, right? So I think I'm gonna probably what I may end up doing, as you sent this to me, is I may end up when these books come out, getting a couple of them and then maybe giving to my wife to hand out to the Girl Scout troop and be like, hey,
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
you know what I mean? Like this is more going into more in what am I trying to say here? More in depth than I did, you know what I
Right.
mean, with what I was doing with them, right? So, because again, I'm like, I'm trying to, I don't want to seem like I'm talking down to them like they're dumb, but I don't know how to relate. You know what I'm saying? Like, what will I say that a 5-year-old understands, right? Like, I can't talk about cookies and things like that. They're like, cookies, you know what I'm no, no, no. These are bad
Right,
cookies.
right, right.
Right? These are bad cookies. But no, this is a good thing, man. I love to see this, people of color out there making a difference in an area that really needs more attention. You know what I mean? So this is awesome. I love to see this. But what's your thoughts on this, Ryan?
No, I completely agree. So I have seen, like you said, the other ABC books they've done. Um, so it's cool to see that they partnered with like Blacks in Cybersecurity, which I tag in pretty much every LinkedIn post that we drop. Collaborate with them in order to create this book. And it's funny because I don't think we ever talked about it. Uh, but I did the Great American Teaching for my son's class. So for his third grade class, I went there and I did something similar, right? Like here's the proper cyber hygiene, try to make it relate to him. I think I had like 4 slides. Um, and then yeah, how do you make it relatable? So yeah, it's cool. Like we're thinking the same. So yeah, I did that with them, and another thing that I think what this highlights is it's good to have that perspective, right? Like you can also join this career of people who look like us, people who don't necessarily always think in that regard of like how do I relate this to a career or a job, right? Like these are things I should be practicing, but what does that eventually lead to potentially? So like when I did the teaching. I had kids come up to me afterward, which probably should have been back to class, but like once you have a guest in, like it all goes. It's hard to rein them back in. But like ask me like what do you do? Like what is your job? Like are you a hacker? Like like questions, age appropriate questions. But you can see the thought process, right? Like the wheels are turning now. Like, oh, maybe I could do something like this, right? Like it's not just the same lanes, doctor, nurse, lawyer. It's like, oh, I can also be, an auditor or assessor. It's kind of what I told them. Like I think in order for it to make sense, I think the route I went was I uh, I give my clients tests to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I forget how I did it, but like it was on like the first slide. Like I made it make sense. I tied it together. Like what's an assessor? Why do these things, right? I'm like not necessarily a teacher, but like I make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then like the last slide was a Roblox slide. It was like basically like not to share your information. So um, but yeah, I think that this making it relatable to kids because ultimately we're old. Like we don't understand all the technology and how it works, and then you have to kind of bake it in to like you said, kids are getting cell phones earlier and earlier. Like tablets are based pretty much anything you could do on a cell phone, you could do on a tablet, right? Like we give that to them as babies. Um, so like we had to start baking that in, like, hey, this is what cybersecurity is, this is how you practice it. So it's good to see like now I have, bedtime story for my youngest. Um, so wait, because he's always asking what I'm doing, like, because I work from home, so like sometimes he'll be home, he'll see me with like spreadsheets open and charts and graphs. He's like, what is that? So like it's cool that now I can read him a story at night. That makes it more relatable. Like somebody who's a professional in this arena knows how to make that connection with a younger audience. So definitely check out these books when they drop. So it's going to be the ABCs of Cybersecurity. Like one is like H is for black hat hackers hiding and lurking behind dark screens, but they're no match for cybersecurity heroes like uh, Camille Stewart and Mark Dean. So I was like, okay, like, and I have to look up who these people are now. It's probably somebody that collaborate with the book. But I think it's just cool to tie it all together, right? And then also give a group of people who don't normally see themselves in this profession, or even though that exists, that hey, you can do this too. Here are some people who you can relate to, who look like you. I would love to have them in some capacity on the show. I don't know if we're big enough for that. right? They're going to the White House. But I would, in the future, that would be cool to have them kind of, break down the book, or at least give me something I can put into a post and bring back to the show. Um, but yeah, I definitely buying some of this. And like Shannon, Moneybag Shannon over there, he's buying it for the whole troop, buying a pallet of these books.
Look, it's only like 6 or 7 of them. It ain't a lot. Not
Like you
that
like
much.
Nino Brown turkeys, but you got cybersecurity books.
If I was Nino Brown, I'd be offering him a job. Hey, why don't you come home? Oh, got a job. Hitting him up like Pookie, right?
Right. But no, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm glad that it popped up. I can't remember if someone shared it with me. I think somebody shared it with me. Somebody was like, "Hey, look, this is pretty cool." Can't remember who though. I like giving people their credit. But yeah, I'm glad that they gave it to us to share with the audience. Yeah, yeah, just more material out there to you know help us broaden the career field. So. But yeah, continue to tune in throughout the week. So again, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesdays discussions. Thursday will be a throwback this week, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So play some cool games, watch some okay movies. So definitely tune in for that. Uh, Hit us up by all the websites that go by our name. You can me a person. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.